Hello everybody, my name's Phoenixia, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the state of PvP racing in World of Warcraft. I think this is a pertinent time to talk about this because Blizz is about to be adding dynamic ground mounts in the form of the drive cars in the new Goblin Zone that's coming out. And I really think that they have an opportunity here to take something that they laid the foundation for, which is PvP racing, and take it to the next level. Because the version of PvP racing that WoW has right now feels like it basically might as well not exist. It was something that I was personally really excited for because in the beta people were doing the racing, PvP racing, and like signing up with their friends and doing it. But then on live just never really took off and nobody really interacted with it. And I think after playing Guild Wars 2 myself that it's very evident why this is. To get right into it, the dragon riding system, the sky riding system, whatever you want to call it, is borrowed from Guild Wars 2. They didn't copy all of the mounted movement in Guild Wars 2, but they did kind of create an amalgamation of two of the flying mounts, the Griffin and the Skyscale, to create what we have now in WoW. And one thing that they didn't actually copy, that I've personally been wishing was in WoW, is dynamic movement ground mounts. With WoW getting dynamic ground mounts in the form of the drive cars, I really think that this is the perfect moment for Blizzard to revamp the PvP racing and really turn it into the inviting and, I don't know, immersive thing that it could be and that I had hoped it would be from the get-go. PvP racing, specifically, is one of my favorite things from playing Guild Wars 2, and it was one of the things that I was most looking forward to when they announced that they were adding skywriting or dragon riding into WoW in the first place. In Guild Wars 2, you can run a race at any time to practice or to compete in time trials against yourself. However, every 20-ish minutes, an NPC will announce that a race is starting, and this is when a PvP race will happen on the track. This is a really fun system because it really breaks up the monotony of like questing or exploring or whatever you're doing in game and kind of like draws you in to direct your attention elsewhere for a brief moment. You'll find yourself taking a break from what you're doing and just going over to the race because it's fun, it gives little bits of rewards, and why not, right? And the best part of this whole situation is that this exact same thing that I am describing happens to other people, and you find yourself spending about 10 or so minutes competing against other players in a really fun bit of content. And it actually like sends you back out into the world to whatever you were doing feeling really refreshed and really like you just had this little palate cleanser kind of from the rest of the game. Now let's compare this to WoW's PvP racing. You wouldn't even have known that there was PvP racing in WoW unless you specifically went looking for it. And if you wanted to race against other players, you'd have to go to a specific NPC and tell them, and hope that in a similar time frame to you, other players also went to that NPC and tried to sign up. And if you're anything like me, by the time the race is finally ready and you're randomly teleported over to back to the race NPC to start the race, you don't even feel like racing anymore. You're already off doing something else, and it's actually like a massive inconvenience that it just zooped you back. In fact, I've only ever done one time because of how annoying it was and how much it just like did not live up to my expectations. This whole thing makes me think about how at my high school, we wouldn't have any dances or like events or anything unless enough people signed up saying that they wanted to go. So the school would put up a sign-up sheet and people would have to like sign up if they wanted to go to the dance, and if enough people signed up then they would have a dance. But of course, nobody would sign up. I mean, I would have happily gone to a dance if it was happening and I could have just spontaneously gone. But I wasn't gonna ever sign up and commit to going and doing that. And basically everybody who I knew felt the same, and the dances literally never happened. Like, we never had a dance or anything like that, other than like the prom for seniors. Basically what I'm trying to say is that if you have to sign up for it, and it'll never happen unless people sign up, it'll just never happen. There's so many people out there who would totally do something if they were given the opportunity, but they're not gonna seek out that opportunity. And they're not going to sign up for it and commit to doing it when they don't actually have that intrinsic drive to do it in the first place. With the addition of WoW's own revamped ground mounts, there's an opportunity to make PvP racing into an awesome feature of the game. There is a vibrant racing culture in Guild Wars 2, and this is especially evident if you look at the player-driven communities that have been created around the roller beetle racing. These roller beetles seem to be what WoW's drive cars are going to be loosely based on, and one of the coolest things about them is the tech. There's drifting, there's boosting to go really fast, and even more so, there's like special uses of these things in tandem that can make you go even faster if you do it perfectly than you can if you don't know the special tech. And I would go into more detail if I did know the special tech, but I do not. So here's a video of someone who does, and as you can see, they're going super fast, even above the speed cap of 99 that's supposed to be in the game. Based on Taliesin and Evitel's interview with Ian Hazakostas and Mark Kalata, it seems that they will be implementing similar tech to what we're seeing here into WoW.
The drive system, the DRIVE system, I cannot wait to find out what that an acronym is for, to get around the zone. I'm assuming that means there's going to be no flying in the Undermine when we first get there.
That would be correct. So Undermine itself, the primary mode of transportation will be the car. Now, I do want to let you know, too, the car, not only is it customizable, but one of the things that it does is, I think, 3 to 5 times faster than your normal ground mount at base when it reaches top speed. And then you can have it go, I think, 10% faster if you're somehow able to magically hit the magic, like, hold your speed, press the boost at the right time, etc., than like your drag or your sky riding mount at full motion. So yeah, you hear no flying and you have an idea, but I don't think you understand how fast like the car will be.
And this makes it even more important, in my opinion, that Blizzard makes the infrastructure of the game conducive to the development of WoW's own player-driven racing communities. Here are my ideas of what Blizzard could add to help foster racing communities and get the most out of the addition of drive and skywriting. PvP races that just happen on set intervals and are telegraphed in the area. This has immense pros because it gets people to try PvP racing who may never try it otherwise, and it creates these organic coming togethers of players in friendly, fun competition. It fosters player interaction and makes the world feel more alive. One main potential worry that I could see Blizzard having about adding races that just like happen every 20 minutes that you can get rewards from is just that, the rewards. In Guild Wars 2, you have a horizontal progression system, which is unlike WoW's vertical progression system. Like in WoW, you get gear, you get Valor Stones, you improve your gear, and you get stronger and stronger and stronger, and so on and so forth every season, basically. So if you had an infinitely farmable every 20 minutes race where people could get Valor Stones, then people would feel compelled to just do that and to be just farming it constantly and not really get to enjoy it just purely for the fun of it. And this isn't really an issue in Guild Wars 2 because they don't really have a vertical progression system like this. They have a horizontal one. So if you're racing and you're getting currency or whatever, it's not something that you're going to take and turn around and use to empower your character and like get ahead or anything like that. So they're able to like give out currency in an infinitely farmable way. But I think that Blizzard could circumvent this issue by making the rewards small or maybe like a special racing token. Racing tokens are something that exists in Guild Wars 2 that you get from doing racing and winning time trials and winning races that you can use to buy racing related things. And I think this would be so cool to have in WoW. They really open up the possibility for specific racing rewards. The main thing that I'm thinking of when I talk about specific racing rewards is, of course, pieces of racetrack. In Guild Wars 2, you can buy like Hot Wheels pieces of racetrack, and you can put them together and build your own custom races in the guild housing. This is something that would be incredible to have in WoW, and it is the main thing that I'm really hoping for there to be in the player housing. It's an awesome opportunity for creativity, and once again, it fosters player interaction. There's this concern with the player housing that it's going to be Garrisons 2.0, and people are, just going to be holed up in their garrison or in their house, not interacting with the rest of the world. So imagine if people actually could build their own races in their houses and invite other players, invite their friends, invite other people who are into racing to come and race their track in their house. That would just be so badass. And if you have these track pieces locked behind a racing-based currency that you only get from racing, you create even kind of a progression system for racing itself and for the racing community and people who might only be interested in that, because that could exist. And actually having this kind of progression system using a special racing currency and the special racing track bits totally fixes the issue of having the races happen on like every 20 minutes or so. Because no one's going to be getting ahead, no one's going to feel like they have to farm this. But if someone feels like building their own race, they can farm it. And also, if somebody gets randomly pulled in to trying one of the races and loves it, they'll already theoretically be earning tokens and they'll be able to get their own racetrack pieces. I think you could also have maybe some transmogs or something too. Maybe, I don't know. This also allows people who are interested in racing to farm the races without the farmability of the content having a negative impact on the rest of the game. This is such a fun system, and I think it's really something that could take WoW's housing and elevate it past what people are expecting. In conclusion, with the addition of Drive into the game, Blizzard has a unique opportunity to revamp the racing system in such a way that will elevate it above what was previously available in the game, even with dragon riding being added. And if they're able to create the situation where you can build races yourself in your house, they also have a chance here to elevate the housing system to another level and really give the community a chance to come together in creativity and in a desire just to have fun and game together. And there's people out there who want to race, and it's going to be a blast to drive these cars around. And it would be such a shame to be building our own race cars and driving our own goblin cars and only be racing in a PvE scenario. We should be racing against each other. We should be trying to run each other off the road, There's so much good opportunity for PvP here, and I really hope that Blizzard is able to make it happen.